This is the first time I've been here in Abidjan, but I told, but it's not my first time in Nigeria. 30 years before, when I was a new correspondent in Africa for Xinhua News Agency, I worked in Togo, Lomé. So I've been in Lagos 30 years before. Xinhua News Agency has a long history with Africa. After the foundation of the People's Republic of China, we already sent some correspondents outside. Our first bureau in Africa is in 1956 in Cairo. Our regional bureau, Africa, was established in 1986 in Kenya, Nairobi, in Kenya. We take charge of the all the country, 48 countries, sub-Saharan. That's why I worked in Togo, in Lomé, and our first bureau in Nigeria is at the end of 1960s. So it's a long history, and we followed the independence of Africa. We followed the development of Africa, and now we will hand in hand follow the modernization of Africa, especially Nigeria. And later, our bureau will more Chinese correspondents here, and with our Nigerian colleague, Tuti, they already work for us more than 16 years. I think our cooperation for the MOU, I think is the beginning. We can tell more about the cooperation between China, Nigeria, and China, Africa. Just before I arrived at your office, I talked to Mr. Yang. Maybe our new program could be named China-Nigeria Bridge or China-Africa Bridge. Wow. It's a proposal. So, and later, we cooperate with this small part of the contents. I think later we can do more. We have lots of the contents with the photo and video. Yeah, just Dr. Jibrin told me you have some platform of the video, and we can do more about this. We have 30 bureau now in African sub-Saharan. All the country, we have some collaborator, local with us. So we have the network in Africa. We can do more. We want to tell a lot of stories, positive, of Africa and of Nigeria. That's what we want to do. No prestige, not just wars and some disaster, but more about the development and modernization of African continent. That's what we want to do. I think today, with the signature of the MOU, is the beginning of our cooperation.
Your Excellency, I recall in my career as a journalist, I was in Indonesia, and I visited Bandung. And one very telling moment that has stayed with me is the visit to the venue of the 1955 Bandung Conference, where China and other countries in Asia came together with like minds from Africa to speak about what they felt was important for the two countries across the continent. And Many people may not be aware that that particular meeting is a precursor to what became known as non-aligned movement, which helped in fighting for liberation of many, many African countries. Your Excellency, you are welcome, and your team to Voice of Nigeria. My brother and friend, the Cultural Councillor, we want to thank you on behalf of management and staff of Voice of Nigeria for staying with us, for giving us all the necessary support, for keying with our vision of strengthening the relationship between China and Nigeria and prioritizing content generation and storytelling about our two very important countries. Your Excellency, my management and staff, today history is being made. Today we are starting a journey for the future. Today we are breaking barriers and creating new bonds. We are helping to strengthen the bridge which our founding fathers have already built. I welcome to Nigeria. I welcome you to Voice of Nigeria. Your presence here, Mr. President, and your team reflect the growing strength of media collaboration between our two institutions and our nations. Like I said earlier, no country in the world can ignore China. And no country can ignore Nigeria. We're the biggest black nation on earth, most enterprising, most engaging, most passionate, determined people. So when two giants come together, the future is more assured, it's more certain. Your Excellency, your visit here offers an opportunity for us to take our conversation a step further, because the conversation has been on. So, but this visit takes the conversation a step further. At the Voice of Nigeria, Excellency, our work is guided by the philosophy of 3 Ps: people, platform, and partnership. This framework continues to shape our engagement and impact. It reminds us that the media is not only about technology and transmission, but about people, shared space for dialogue, and enduring relationships that transcend borders. As Nigerian public broadcast institution, we carry a unique mandate. We are not merely conveyors of information. We are custodians of narrative. We project Nigerian voice to the world, amplify African perspective, and facilitate meaningful dialogue on issues that define our collective future. Currently, Your Excellency, the Voice of Nigeria broadcasts in 8 languages. English, naturally, because it's our national language. French, because of the place of French on the world stage, but also its place on the African continent. Arabic, Swahili. Of course, as you all are aware, Swahili is the highest, the most spoken language on the continent of Africa. We have a partnership that is very enduring. And of course, 4 other Nigerian languages: Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, and Fulfulde. Your Excellency, it's important that I speak to this issue. There is no country on the continent of Africa today that you go to that you don't have Chinese business concern, apart from the embassy. But whatever happens there, like His Excellency, Mr. President rightly noted, it depends on how narratives are shaped about China in Africa. How is it being received? How are people looking at it? That is why it is important that we work together to create understanding among our people and between our people. And for us to be able to achieve it, we must be very intentional, we must be deliberate, very forceful in doing that. Because most times, the news that get to China about Africa and indeed Nigeria is through third-party media. The same way the news that comes to Africa and indeed Nigeria about China is also through third party. And in the process, gaps are created about who we are, what we do, what we represent, and our shared value as a people. That's why it's important, Excellency, that we come together to partner on how we can proceed forward. It is within this context that our engagement with your news agencies, the Xinhua News Agency, become particularly significant. This partnership represents more than a formal agreement. It reflects a shared vision of fostering mutual understanding, cultural exchange, and responsible storytelling across continents. The MOU we are advancing today is built on foundation of the 2024 Media Exchange and Cooperation Framework between Nigeria and Africa. So we are not starting anything new. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in China during the China-African Summit, and of course the minister, our boss, our direct boss, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, accompanied the minister, and there was a general MOU that was signed by the Federal Minister of Information and National Orientation and the Chinese government about partnership generally with public media institutions in Nigeria. So this opportunity today is in furtherance of that existing relationship built first by the President and Commander-in-Chief and also by the Minister of Information